I'm Mike Parson, and I come from Southwest Missouri. It is where I grew up on a farm. My parents were farmers, and I spent a couple of tours of duty in the United States military. And then from there, I moved to Bolivar, Missouri when I got out of the military, and first went into business for myself in Bolivar, Missouri, and actually was in the service station business for many years. And then ended up buying some rental property, and I got into the rental side of the business and storage facilities, and have been in business ever since then. And ended up buying some farms, and we still farm today. We run cattle there. Over my time as a legislator, I think some of the pro-business issues that I've always done is I've been involved in all the tort reform issues that we've had in the state of Missouri. Most of that's come through my committee of small business, which I'm very proud to chair. Right to work is a big issue for this state that we've been supportive of our entire career, and frankly has also come through my committee. A few years ago, I had the privilege of handling the data storage bill in the Senate, which took almost 7 years to get accomplished, and was proud to be able to sponsor that bill, along with the bonding bill for the state of Missouri that was $600 million that goes into the economy of the state. And when you look at it from a business perspective, the timing was right to do a bonding bill in this state. And I think of some of the projects that will come out of that, couldn't be a better timing for Missouri to put people back to work, create jobs. I think I'm going to be much more aggressive. I think the lieutenant governor's race, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about being the next lieutenant governor. And I think you're going to be able to promote businesses. I'm excited about the tourism side of it, which is the second largest industry in the state of Missouri. So you're going to get to go out there and promote that every day. And what do you do to help promote that? And how do you grow that into a bigger business than it already is? Agribusiness, agriculture, which is the #1 industry in our state, and being the only candidate with an agriculture background, I think it's going to be a huge advantage. And I think there's going to be a lot of things you're going to be able to do from the lieutenant governor's seat every day. But one of the things I think will be so important for all statewide elected officials, but I will talk about the lieutenant governor's race because that's the one we're focusing on today. But the real challenge is going to be, how do you defend against the overreach of the federal government? Because if you look at any part of our lives, any part of our business communities, that's the #1 issue facing all of us. What are we going to do about the overreach of the EPA, the taxation portion of it, the legal reform? I mean, those are some challenging issues, and it's going to take some people with some, I want to say, some real guts to stand up to the federal government and say, look, we've got to change the way we do businesses, the way we do business in this state, because for our businesses to grow and take advantages, the last thing we need to do is regulate them. My opponent, Russ Carnahan, is going to line strictly up with the Obama administration. That's the best way to describe it. Whether it's cap and trade, whether it's EPA regulations, whether it's school regulatory environment. I mean, you can go down the list. Everything I believe in, we're just the opposites of. And I truly believe with the Obama administration, the Clinton administration, have been a total failure. And my opponent, Russ Carnahan, has totally supported that throughout his entire career. And when you talk about cap and trade, how devastating is that to Missouri when, 80% of our energy comes from coal, and yet you're opposed to coal for the citizens of Missouri. Tort reform issues, he's actually voted just the opposite, to expand the legal climate for businesses in this state. And it's devastating to all of our businesses. So I don't think there's one issue that I know of at this point that I would probably politically agree on with Russ Carnahan. And unfortunately, I do not think he is what the future of Missouri is about. I've said this for 15 months. You judge me on my accomplishments. You judge me as a fellow businessman, that I know what it's like to go through making a payroll, paying for the insurance, paying for the tax structure, going against the DNR of the state of Missouri, going against the regulatory environment. I've been there, I've done that. And I realize what that is and how important it is to make sure that we support businesses in this state and don't create more problems for them through the regulatory environment. I just think if you just take a look at my record of my accomplishments versus my opponent, there's no comparison. You've got a guy that's basically been a lawyer all his life, a trial attorney, and he really has no accomplishments, other than a congressman. And I'm not for sure as a congressman, the only thing I know he's did is whatever the President Obama told him to do. And I think I've got a proven record in the state of Missouri that I've been a very individual on supporting the issues. You know, I don't really care about the political arena sometimes, who's for, who's against, but I want to do the right thing for the businesses of this state of Missouri because, again, they're the backbone of who we are. And, you know, without them being successful, Missouri's not successful.